And we're live. I'm a little late, sorry. It was really hard to find a spot. I don't have a good, what's it called, tripod right now for my iPhone. So we've had to have this kind of balancing act. You guys remember Erica.
Hi.
She's my Instagram live co-host again.
What's
Good
up?
evening to you. Good evening to you. All right. So there are a lot of questions you guys asked on this one. Who is that?
Hi, Larry.
Larry, hi. There are a lot of questions that I'm getting to pretty much all of them. I'm gonna have to do them quick so this isn't like an hours long. There's about 2 or 3 that are really complicated and are probably too long to answer on this. So for those of you who I don't answer, I will personally DM you and help you with the question that you have. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, Erica brought me over vegan chocolate chip cookies, which is kind of rude, but don't mind me eating them because they're really good. I'm really enjoying it.
They're really good.
She's a really good baker. Okay.
Okay.
So,
first question.
mhm.
I've been getting small bumps on my forehead and my cheeks too, but mostly it's on my forehead. What can be the possible reason behind it, and how can I prevent it?
So small bumps, what I think you're referring to is they're probably like flesh colored or white bumps. This can be one of 2 things. It's either comedones or milia, which for both of them, they're very similar. They look like kind of white or like the same color of your skin. You can't squeeze them because they're closed off. Basically, this is a blackhead where the skin closed over. So the reason it turns black is because it's oxygenated. So it's open to air, that's what turns it black. When your skin's closed over it, it stays flesh colored. Do not squeeze it. You have to go to an esthetician, get a facial, and they have to actually take an extractor and poke a little hole in it and get it out. Don't try to do this yourself. You will scar your face. I've done this many times, so make sure you go get this done.
Okay, next question. I'm in my 20s and have genetic high cholesterol. I don't eat meat and did stop eating greasy and fatty foods. I have 6 months to lower my cholesterol or I'll have to start medication, and I'm trying to avoid that. What can I do?
For hereditary cholesterol, if you're young, besides just cutting out bad food, I think we answered this last week.
I actually was thinking the same thing.
Maybe you didn't hear, so we did answer your question last week, but just to recap, increase healthy fats, make sure you're exercising at least 30 minutes a day, increase fruits and veggies. That should do the trick.
Perfect.
Okay.
Next question. How can you keep eating healthy and not get bored when in college dorm with a college meal plan?
I love this question. So if you are in college and you want to try to eat healthy, I would say your go-to is Mexican food, because Mexican food is the best way to really like indulge and get a bunch of flavor and still keep it healthy. Because you think about it, you can add on guacamole, salsa, pico de gallo, beans, brown rice, veggies, whatever you want, and it's this big bowl of like really yummy, flavorful food. So that would be my go-to. And then I would, if you can get a little blender, even just like a little NutriBullet to keep in your room, get raw organic cacao powder. Cacao is the natural form of chocolate, so it's actually unsweetened. You guys, I got a call and I think it interrupted my live. So you get cacao powder, blend it with like a frozen banana and some almond milk. It tastes kind of like dessert. So those are 2 things I'd recommend.
Okay. This question is from a vegan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm low on iron and vitamin D, and my hair feels thinner, even though I eat a balanced diet and take supplements. Did you ever have this problem at one time? Is there a way to fix this naturally?
If you're low on iron and vitamin D and you're taking supplements and it's not working, I would go see your doctor. If your supplements should work. So if they're not, let's see if there's like an absorption issue. But besides that, a lot of foods are fortified in vitamin D, getting out in the sun. For iron, it's dark leafy greens, legumes, things like that. But if you are taking a supplement, just make sure you check with your doctor.
Next question. How much protein should you be taking for weight loss if you're not training? Is it in grams per body weight, in kilograms, or pounds? I see mixed info everywhere.
This is a little subjective because it depends on, even if you're not training, how active you are, what else you're eating. As a general rule, I would say grams and pounds. So if you're 120 pounds, 120 grams of protein, that is a lot, but just because you're eating that much doesn't mean you have to eat that many calories. It's just your ratio of calories should be higher in protein, maybe lower in carbs.
Next question. Majority of the time when I eat afterwards, I feel gross or like I ate too much. How do I know when I should stop eating, or what should I do to avoid that feeling?
If you stop eating when you're about 70 or 80% full. You know, it depends on the kinds. If you're eating whole, really good foods and you don't get so stuffed where you just feel like you're gonna die after, stop early, wait a little bit, because it takes a minute for your brain to recognize that your stomach is full. So I would just recommend going slow.
What laser do you recommend to get rid of acne scars?
It depends on the kind of acne scar. If it's like a deep pitted acne scar, I would say like a CO2 Fraxel laser. If it's just discoloration, then you could do something light like IPL and even use lightening agents first. You might not even have to go to a laser for that.
How do you keep motivated to work out eating healthy?
I stay motivated by finding things I love. For example, when it comes to working out, I love training. I actually look forward to it and I have so much fun. I really like Pilates classes. If you ask me to go to the gym and just do weights on my own, I will literally be that girl that sits there for like 30 minutes and looks at her phone because I don't know what I'm doing. So you have to make sure it's something you like. And when it comes to food, I make sure there's food I like. Like I won't eat something that's unappealing to me. So find something that you like and that works, and you'll be motivated.
Next question.
Mhm.
I have these red spots on my face due to acne. How can I get rid of them?
Red spots due to acne. Actually, you're lucky because that's the one kind of acne scar that's easy to get rid of. I would try something like a bleaching cream. Ask a dermatologist to write you a compound. You could do a combination of hydroquinone, hydrocortisone. Different retinols are really exfoliating, so they get that top layer of skin off and let new fresh skin that's not discolored come in. You could try like a light peel, and then if those don't work, I would go to IPL, but I think the lightening agents could really work. And over time they fade too, so.
Cool. Do you have any tips for oily skin?
Tips for oily skin. Actually, a great tip for oily skin is to drink more water, because your body's always trying to compensate for what's wrong. So it's actually really smart. So if you're producing more oil, you're probably dehydrated. So if you drink more water, like if you ever notice, for me personally, if I drink alcohol, the next day my skin is so oily. Does that happen to you? Or not really?
No.
It happens
I'm
to
more
me.
dried out.
You're dried out.
Yeah.
So whenever I wake up after drinking alcohol, my skin is really, really oily. So I would say drink more water and use moisturizer. And if you want a really good mattifying moisturizer that's not oily, Murad has a really good one. Murad, M-U-R-A-D, and it's called, I think it's called mattifying. It's like a blue color.
Great. What foods do you recommend for vegans with IBS problems?
Vegans with IBS. Okay, so some vegan food tends to have like a lot of different stuff mixed in because they're trying to get creative and make it taste good and maybe replace like the meat or whatever, the dairy. So sometimes those combinations can be a little irritating. So I would say just stick to bland, clean foods, like nothing too spicy, none of the cashew cream sauces, just like sweet potatoes, like lentil pasta, quinoa, veggies, things like that. Not raw veggies.
Best ways to lighten up underarms and tips on dealing with hyperhidrosis in the underarm area.
So hyperhidrosis is just excessive sweating. There's actually something called Drysol, which I've known about for years. I used it in college. It's like a deodorant that's really strongly medicated. You have to get a prescription for it, and you use it for like 3 or 4 days, and it really helps. People, stop calling me right now. You have to use it under your arms. One really, really strong tip you could try is Botox under the arms. Actually, that's what Botox was initially indicated for. So that will kind of close up those glands and make you sweat less. And for dark spots, I don't think I understand. Let me think. For dark spots, I guess one thing I would say is a bleaching cream. These are always going to be the strongest. Hydroquinone is the best one. Lemon juice is a really good natural lightening agent. That's something that you could use on your skin, on your face, anywhere if you want to stick to something more natural.
It smells good too.
Yeah, it's nice.
How much protein should you eat if you're weightlifting 3 times to 4 times a week?
This is a difficult question to answer. I should have not included this. Okay, if you're weightlifting 3 to 4 times a week, this depends on how much you're lifting, if you're trying to gain a certain amount, or if you're trying to maintain. I don't like people that give like black and white answers to this because it's really not. Like mine keeps changing. Like my trainer changes what he wants me to eat constantly with my ratios or whatever the goals are. So I'd really recommend either asking a trainer. If you don't have a trainer, usually at the gym they have like a consultant you could ask. Usually it's for free. So I just don't want to answer something that is not as specific to your case.
Okay, next
Mhm.
question. How do you tell the difference between a sunspot and a mark left behind by acne?
That's a good question. So a sunspot tends to be a little more in the brown color, like flesh tone tan brown, and it's kind of in like a weird shape, almost like a weird mole or something. An acne spot tends to be more red. There's a dog outside that's barking.
Oh, it's really cute.
It's a little pug. So an acne spot tends to be a little more red, but let me close that door. I'm sorry. Anyway, whoops. Sorry. This really cute little pug is my neighbor. Anyway, an acne spot is a little more red, but they can both be treated the same way.
When it comes to us lovelies having our periods, how do you cope and deal with cramps and hormone imbalance? What can we eat that will ease this time of month for us ladies?
Well, I will say it just sucks, number one. There's not much you can do.
I second that.
Right? There's one thing, I don't know how old the person is that asked this question, but I will tell you that when I was younger, and I've noticed a lot of younger patients, it's way worse. So it does sometimes get better as you get older. Birth control, I'm not recommending for anyone to go get birth control, but I am saying that you can get it for cramps because really it's just estrogen and progesterone, so sometimes it can help those imbalances. I actually personally went on it in high school. Actually, I'm sorry, it was my first year of college. I went on it because mine were so bad and it was just like debilitating, and it really helped. So something you can talk to your doctor about. There's no food that's necessarily going to help period or hormonal cramps, but I would say just like the old school remedies. Like I always do black Persian tea, bland foods, warm water with lemon, things like that.
Do you recommend a good natural organic deodorant?
I had just asked my friend Annette because she always uses natural deodorant, and she texted me something. Annette, if you're watching this, can you please comment and let us know? I personally cannot use natural deodorant because it actually makes me smell worse. Like it makes me smell bad. If I wore nothing, I'd be fine, and then I put it on, and for some reason I just hate it. I'm all about natural, organic, but I'm just keeping it real. Like I cannot use natural deodorant. But if Annette tells us the kind that she says is the best and she loves, I'll give it a try. If she doesn't comment here, then I'll check it and I'll post it. Okay.
What do you think about face sheet masks? Does it really help and
Oh,
improve
wait.
face?
Melissa says she likes Melissa Wood Health. You guys check her out. She has an amazing page, all plant-based. She's such a great mommy. And she loves Schmidt's. It's the best in the original, so you guys can try that. Thank you. All right.
So face masks, face sheet masks.
Face sheet
Does
mask.
it really help and improve face skin imbalance? And what brand can you recommend?
Okay, I love sheet masks. I remember when they first came out, I thought like, oh, this is cute. It's probably a little bit of marketing, but they're actually really, really incredible. I just used one 2 nights ago. It's basically putting on product, but like almost tripling it because it's a lot of it like concentrated in there, and then you have something enclosing it. So think about like if you're heating something and you like put something over it, right? It makes it warmer. So when you have this sheet mask over your face, it's like pressing these ingredients in, and when you take it off, all the rest of it just like seeps into your skin and you feel so nice. Actually, this Solwasu lightning one that I used made my face a little bit tingly for a few hours, which makes me know that it worked. So I really like face masks. What was your second question to that?
What do you recommend?
Oh, I love Solwasu's face. Honestly, I like them all. There isn't one that I've tried that I haven't liked. So ask me for a specific ailment. Like, do you want something for dark spots? Do you want something for hydration? And then I can try to find one that I recommend.
Next question. Any info about apple cider vinegar, please?
Yes. So I feel like some people have asked me if, or have read that apple cider vinegar is bad. I don't think it's unhealthy at all. I love its benefits. I hate its taste. It makes me so sick, but I force it down. I put it in a little bit of water at the tip. It's less strong tasting, I guess. So apple cider vinegar, the active ingredient, or why it's really helpful for the most part, is acetic acid. This is when it's fermented. So acetic acid is really known for disinfecting and reducing bacteria. That's why like years ago people used it for wounds and different things. So That's why it can get rid of bad bacteria in your gut, and it can really help your digestion. Even better, it's really great for anyone who's pre-diabetic or diabetic type 2. It helps with insulin sensitivity, so it's helping to regulate your blood sugar. You always want insulin sensitivity. You want your insulin to really help take all that sugar out of your blood. So even if you're not diabetic, it's really great because you always want to regulate your blood sugar. You never want it to spike too high. So once a day, twice a day, whatever you can do is great.
Somebody keeps asking if cryotherapy is good for the skin, like facials.
Yeah, they actually they actually have localized cryotherapy facials where instead of going into the whole chamber, you just put it on your face. At Next Health, if you guys, I talk about Next Health a lot. I love it there. They have a little localized one. It takes like 10 minutes. It's nice. I like it.
Great. It does feel good, actually.
It feels nice.
I've had it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like a mini refreshing facial.
It
kind
feels
of.
really good. What facial toners do you recommend?
So toner is a funny word because it can imply so many different things. Like technically, it's just like the finish off of your cleanser. So it's like, and it's usually in like a water base. But there's so many different kinds of toners. There's astringents that could be like salicylic acid that's for acne. There's hydrating ones. There's some that are meant to balance your skin. It really depends on what you're going for. I have like in my medicine cabinet of like 50 things. I rotate every night. I just pick on like what I'm feeling, what my skin looks like that day. If I had to pick one ingredient, I really like rose water because it's soothing, and like soothing is just something that's always good for your skin. Especially at night, it feels really nice. So just depends on what you're going for.
Darkness in inner thighs, neck, and elbows. What do you recommend to do or eat?
There's nothing you can eat I'm not going to lie and say there's something you can eat that's going to get rid of those specific areas, but kind of like what I said before, I would try lightning agent or lemon juice. Those are the only things I can think of that would really, besides that, lasers are kind of the answer to everything. They're expensive, but they're always a last choice that will work.
How can I grow my eyebrows and teeth whitening? I'm actually curious.
So a little trick, if you get eyelash grower, I really like, it's called Grand Lash or Lash MD. It's both the same. You can actually put that on your eyebrows. I've done it for years, especially I can never grow it right here, so I always put it. Oh yeah, it works really well.
Works?
Yeah, you're not gonna grow like a huge amount of eyebrows, but it's definitely gonna help. It's the same concept. So I use that, and then the next question was teeth whitening. Teeth whitening. I do a few different things. I posted a few days ago that I drink all of my dark beverages out of a straw. Thanks to you guys, I will be using eco-friendly straws all the time, or maybe we need to get those metal ones to keep in our purses.
Right.
I always cut up my straws in little pieces so that I don't hurt anything in the sea. But I drink dark beverages through a straw. I always rinse my mouth out. Larry's distracting me. I always rinse my mouth out with water after I drink anything. And this is a really good trick. You have to brush your tongue. I know that sounds weird, but like your saliva is actually what stains your teeth most of the time. It's not just brushing your teeth, because a lot of that like coffee or tea will sit on your tongue and then it's just circulating all day. So brushing your tongue is super important. And lastly, I get my teeth Zoom whitened about once a year for maintenance.
Best oil-free vegan foundation.
I know of vegan foundations, but I don't necessarily know that it's oil-free. So let's mark that one, and I will DM you or post that when I find it, because I don't think I use an oil-free one.
Okay. I'm 24 and I used to have perfect skin until 2 years ago when I got chicken pox. Now my face is full of scars. Any recommendations? Also, any tips or tricks for cellulite?
So after chicken pox, now it's scars.
Mm-hmm. Her skin is scarred.
And it's pitted, she said?
Just scarred.
Okay. Full of scars. So it all depends on what kind of scar it is. If it's just a discoloration scar, kind of what we mentioned before, the lightening agents like hydroquinone, lemon juice, ferulic acid is something I should have mentioned before too. This comes in a serum. I really like it. It's a really nice lightening agent too. If it's deep scars, none of those creams are going to work. You have to get a laser. It's an investment, but it will work for once you clear up those deep scars. It's permanent, so you're never going to get those indentations back. So something like a CO2 laser, something really intense like that would work.
Okay. What major ingredients should you avoid when purchasing or looking for skincare and makeup?
Major ingredients should you, let's also have this one be a post because
Yes, please.
it's just too much.
I need to know.
Erica wants to know about this one too. Oh, bye, Melissa. Yeah, let's skip this one too. I will get to this one. I just want to make that like a really good detailed post and everything I can get in there.
What are the best skincare habits to adopt while you're young?
Amen. I am kicking myself for not sunscreen is the number one because even if you don't necessarily see freckles, they can be in there and just pop up years later and you have these memory freckles that will never go away. So sunscreen all the time and moisturizing. Honestly, as soon as you hit like 18, 19, I would start using eye cream, moisturizer, and they have products that are geared towards younger women. So you don't have to go with like those really heavy creams that once you get older you want to start using. So anything that's really nourishing and hydrating, I would recommend using in sunscreen.
Somebody said that you didn't answer the cellulite question.
Oh, there was a cellulite question?
Yeah, it was part of the skincare.
Oh, why, Erica?
No, the makeup.
You didn't catch that?
No.
Okay, so that's Erica's fault.
Oh, it was part of the chicken pox one.
Okay, cellulite, thank you for catching that. There is nothing you can do to permanently get rid of cellulite unless you're really exercising a lot, eating really healthy, like the old school, like that's how you can get rid of it. However, there are ways to temporarily reduce its appearance. And you know, you can go get cellulite treatments. It's like this big device and it kind of like kneads into your, it actually hurts. It feels like someone's hammering into your thighs because I've done it. It's basically just draining out any fluid, it's breaking up the tissue. The same thing can be done with massage. If you have someone who can do really strong massage, there's some people that do that. If you get really tight wraps at a spa, same exact idea. Everything we're doing is like squeezing and draining that fluid. This is good for temporary, so if you have an event or something, you could help reduce the appearance. That plus a little spray tan and some moisturizer, and I think it would look good. But long term, you just have to exercise really hard, eat really well, and it is hereditary. I have cellulite too, so can't always get rid of it.
Me too. What deodorant and toothpaste do you use? We kind of addressed deodorant.
We address the deodorant. Toothpaste, I honestly just vary whatever I see. That's the honest answer. I don't have a specific one. I do like Sensodyne because my teeth get a little sensitive, especially from whitening them.
Okay. Does taking collagen pills or powder get absorbed in the body, or is it useless?
I'm not a fan of collagen. Again, collagen's usually animal derived, so I don't believe in taking. But even if that wasn't it, I don't really think, I haven't seen anything that shows how well it works or enough data to show it works. What I would do is take things that help you build more collagen in your body. Like sesame seeds are really great. Healthy fats, different antioxidants, that's what I would do. But taking collagen supplements isn't something I necessarily recommend.
Hi, Dr. Mona.
Hi.
How do you get rid of blackheads and oily skin, and how to reduce pores?
Blackheads and oily skin we went over. Blackheads, all this stuff is maintenance. Honestly, I know getting facials once a month can be a little pricey, but if there's something you could invest in, this is what I would recommend. I get a facial every month. And you know, you can always find ways, like you just have to prioritize what's important to you. Like, I don't think I've spent money on alcohol in like years. I don't ever buy alcohol or go out to bars. So really that's just what I prioritize, and it's fine. Maybe 1 month you save and get a facial, but really having someone like deep clean, and like when you go in there, if you haven't gotten one, they steam you for a little while, and they really just, it's technique with their fingers. Like they can squeeze all the oil out of your pores and get rid of blackheads. The Biore strips and things like that can work pretty well too. But just, you know, maintenance, exfoliating, just a good skincare regimen that's consistent.
I've never heard this before, so I'm curious. Do you recommend silk sheets to sleep on to prevent aging, or is there a certain type of pillow you recommend?
There are actually, there's a couple different pillowcases you can get. There's acne ones. Silk sheets are actually really nice because it's just softer. Anything like, it actually makes sense. If you took a piece of paper and folded it up for a year or two, it would have a permanent crinkle in it. So if you're like always sleeping on your face and crunching it up, like, yeah, it can leave lines. So if you use silk pillow sheets, anything soft, they even have ones that are kind of like almost like those airplane ones, you know?
Oh,
That
okay.
you so your face
Oh,
isn't
so
in
your
it.
face doesn't
Yeah.
touch.
I had this like habit of sleeping like this, where I try to sleep in like the hole in my elbow so that I don't squish my face against the pillow. It's usually like that for like half the night, but silk pillow sheets are really nice, for sure.
Wow.
Are you learning, Erica?
I am.
All right,
I had no-
winning.
I had no idea. Wait, sorry, that was an apple cider vinegar one again. Trying to see.
I was trying to get to one. Go ahead. It's okay.
What's your favorite kind of rice to buy/eat?
Someone said when I slept on silk, I always woke up with a hurt neck. The pillowcase is silk. It doesn't have to change your pillow, so it shouldn't affect your neck. Okay, go ahead.
What's your favorite kind of rice?
If I have to eat rice, it would be brown rice, but I've really switched over to quinoa. Usually if you're not eating rice on its own, for the most part, you're usually eating it like in a stir fry or like with a bunch of different things. So I'd way rather have quinoa that's gonna give me that fiber and protein, and it's just more nutrient dense. So if I am gonna have rice, it's brown. But
Okay, what's your favorite meal to cook at home?
I don't cook very often. My favorite meal to cook at home, I will take a bunch of veggies. I'll do like an onion, zucchini, celery, mushrooms, put them in a big pot, and I'll take 1 can of just plain tomato sauce and then 1 can of water. So I make it into like a broth, and I just boil it to kind of make like a stew, and then I pour it over quinoa, and it's so filling and yummy. Who are you laughing at?
They're asking about my hair.
Your hair. Erica has beautiful hair.
I taught Mona how to curl her hair.
She did actually. She changed my life because I could never do my own hair, and she came over and taught me how to hold the curling iron. We should do a tutorial on that.
We should, actually. I use a curling iron, not a wand, by the way. Okay, do you wash your face once or twice a day?
Twice, always.
Morning and night?
Morning and night.
Okay.
Yep.
Where can we get more information about food combing? Is there a book you recommend?
Food combining.
Oh my god.
I'm like, check out Kimberly Snyder's book. She knows so much about food combining. I learned a lot from that, so that's what I would do.
Cool. What can I do?
Okay, go ahead.
What can I do to make my hair healthy and hydrated?
Healthy fats. I say this a lot, but you guys have asked me why my hair is so shiny, and I actually have never even noticed that it's that shiny until you guys started pointing it out. But healthy fats are just so full of the right nutrients. Like vitamin E is really hydrating and moisturizing, so that really helps. Whether you're eating it or I put avocado in my hair, I've been known to do that, and coconut oil. It makes it so shiny, so that's what I would say.
Somebody asked how you stick to drinking water.
How I stick to drinking water?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because it's hard to drink water. Like, what's your mental state when you're like, let me grab water and not a juice or something?
Oh my God. So I've been drinking water for so long now that like my body craves it. So I honestly don't even remember. But it's funny because years ago I didn't. I used to never drink water, and all of a sudden I started drinking a bunch of water. And now like if I don't have it next to me, but I will say, I always have a huge water bottle, and when it's this big, I always drink it because it's just next to me and I have to finish it. So
This is true. I can attest. She has this everywhere.
I always have this water bottle with me. I also get my groceries delivered, and they hate me because I'll order like 10 at a time because I hate carrying them, but it works.
It's far.
Yeah.
In the car. What foods do you recommend for bright, radiant skin?
Berries. Berries are my favorite food for bright, radiant skin. Citrus fruit's really good, but literally nothing's better than like blackberries, blueberries, strawberries first thing in the morning. My grocery delivery I asked them to go grab and add blackberries and blueberries, and they said okay, and they didn't. I was very upset. Now I don't have any in my fridge, and I'm craving them. Go on.
How do you get rid of deep-rooted or maybe called indented scars on your face?
Deep-rooted indented scars. This is what we were talking about earlier. Yep, CO2 Fraxel laser or something of the sort. There's similar ones, but usually 2 to 3 sessions.
I'm a teenager.
Someone keeps saying transsexual.
I
I don't know what to say. But okay, for the person that keeps saying we are not transsexual, neither of us. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you're really aggressive in the way you're asking it. I can block after this, so just warning you if you want to just tone it down a little bit.
Please and thank you.
God, it was distracting
My
me.
mom would be so sad. I'm a teenager going into my junior year of high school.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any tips for staying healthy during school? That's a good question.
That's a really
I
good
like that.
question. Tips for staying healthy going into school. Can on my was it last week that I shared the snacks? Yeah. I'll do a post on like all the little healthy snacks you can get. Just offhand, I would think to have little things that are easy that you can bring with you. Those little dried edamame snacks I love. They're full of protein. They're really filling. Going to Trader Joe's and getting a little individual, they're little like mixed nuts. If you get the raw ones, it's like raisins, cashews, almonds, and walnuts. They're just so perfectly portioned and they're so convenient. Like I feel like I throw one in my purse every time I leave the house. Having a banana, things like this are so key because you're always like gone. Maybe you have whatever soccer practice or whatever it is, cheerleading. It's easy to just have snacks like this on hand. What else? Can you think of any other little tips to stay healthy?
I recommend packing your own lunch.
That for sure, definitely.
That might not seem cool, but it is cool,
Yeah.
especially 10 years from now.
I feel like it's cool now though because healthy is kind of cool now, right?
Yeah.
It is.
I feel like towards the end of my high school, I packed my own lunch.
Yeah. Really good snack too is chia seed pudding. I love doing this. You can buy little mason jars on Amazon or wherever, and you can do it overnight. And if you buy mini ones, you can just take it with you. So, chia seed pudding, dried edamame, bananas, mixed nuts. Those are pretty good, right?
Veggie sticks.
Veggie sticks, hummus. Those are all great snacks.
Yeah. Which one is better, juicing or smoothies? Is there even a difference?
There is. So a lot of people ask me about this. The reason smoothies are more beneficial is because you don't lose any of the fiber. You know, when you juice, you're getting all the juice out of the veggies, but all that pulp is still there. Now, you are still getting, the reason I like juicing, I still like juicing is because there's so much produce that goes into one glass, right? Like if you think about it, when you see what they put in there, it could be like 10 stalks of celery and cucumber and kale and all this stuff. You're getting so many nutrients in one glass that you would never normally eat. Versus smoothie, it's not all that goes into it. And with a smoothie, usually I'm not putting in like celery and like different things. Like I'll put in some kale and spinach, but it's usually a little more fruit because you're not gonna like blend just veggies. It's not gonna taste very good. So they each have their own benefits, which is why I do both. I'll always add a little bit of spinach or kale, whatever I have. I'll just like throw it in my smoothie, but then I also do juices. So both.
Do you recommend Biore charcoal pore strips for blackhead removal on the nose?
Yeah, I like those strips. They work really well.
Okay. What are
A weird bird. I don't know. Lots of animals in my courtyard.
What are some good sources of protein, not including tofu?
Quinoa, hemp seeds, broccoli, beans, mixed nuts, lentils.
You wrote that.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Cool.
Is that it?
That's what you wrote.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming. I don't know. Do you use any at-home self-tanners or do you only spray tan?
We actually both use the Jergens self tanner. I use that only on my legs and arms. Like I don't put it on my face just because I'm afraid it's gonna make me break out. Erica uses it on her face. I don't.
Thank you.
But I get spray tans. I try to get them every week. Usually it's like maybe 10 days. I love spray tans. They never make me break out. It's organic solution. I just look more like awake and glowing, and it actually makes me wear less makeup because it kind of looks like makeup. It's happened like 3 times actually. Erica and I went to see a movie one day, like middle of the day. It's my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I had literally just come from a spray tan, no makeup. And she was like, she goes, you look so youthful. I was like, oh, thank you on my birthday. But it was just a spray tan because it has like a natural bronzer in it. So it just kind of looks like makeup.
It's the glowing.
Yeah, it's very glowy.
What is the best and most natural way to heal acne scars?
We're back to acne scars.
We've had a lot of those.
I think acne scars is a big pain point. So the most natural way, honestly, a lot of times acne discoloration will fade over time. So if you want the most natural way, I would say let it fade, use lemon juice, just eat a lot of citrusy foods and drink a lot of water. Next, I would try ferulic acid or vitamin C serum. Ferulic is Ferulic. Those are really light and mild. It can work over time. And then the next step up would be like a hydroquinone and hydrocortisone. And then it would be laser. So that's your order of natural to intense.
We're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
All right. I think so. There was like 2 or 3 that I didn't respond to. I will DM you. I'll try to answer a couple on here. There's so many. Hi. Birth control risks. That's a lot to say in this one too, so I'll get back to that. Birth control options. There's a lot of different options. If something isn't working for you, all I will say is check the ratio of estrogen to progesterone, because that's how you know what you have to switch. There's side effects linked to each of them, so you can try so many different things. Give it at least 3 months to let your body adjust before you switch back and forth, because it does take a little while. And why is it so hard to cut out carbs? You don't have to completely cut out. Not all carbs are bad. My go-to I love French fries. It's my biggest weakness, and I always, she knows, I always take a sweet potato and chop it really thin and put it in the oven and bake it, and that's my French fry, and I eat it with mustard. That's it. All right. Any other major questions?
Someone asked about rosacea.
Rosacea.
No.
Rosacea is a lot of diet, like avoiding like alcohol and certain things that make your, but oats work really well. It's a really good natural remedy for rosacea. But some of these are prescription based too. I've been eating healthy and trying to be vegan, but I'm getting bloated. Kind of what we mentioned above. Make sure what you're eating isn't too much different food being combined into one thing. Try to eat more bland, simple foods. That can help a lot. And especially if you're going vegan and you're getting a lot of like the fake meat and the frozen dinners, they have so much sodium, so watch out for that, because it'll definitely cause bloating. So eating at home is better. But I think that is good. I'll be back next Monday. I have a different co-host next Monday, but then Erica will always be back. So all right, guys, thanks for joining. Leave a comment if there's any other questions, and I will see you next time.